Recording in progress.
Online, am I audible? Online, am I audible? Can you hear me? Yes. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Good. Now, anyway, we will revise and repeat the topics which we discussed. In the last 2 days, I think we discussed only one topic, which is called use effect. Okay. We will repeat it, no worries. Now, in the meanwhile, let me know how many of you people did the assignment. Anyone have the links? Oh, good. Give me the links for the people whoever have it. 442 hyphen use effect. Okay. Online people, whoever did it, just mention it. Okay. It's an API. What's the API? Huh? Oh, that's a good. Okay. It's a list of actresses, I think. If I click add to favorite, counter is increasing. Button, home, actress, contact. Okay. Whatever. It's a simple and nice design. Design perspective, it's perfect. That's good now. Good. The next one, girls, tell me ma. Use you if I effect, huh? Use effect demo dash react dot netlify dot app. That would be more good. Okay, she used fake store API and I got the results. And it's a nice, beautiful design. Only the point is, if I have to point it out one thing, see, here the button is at here. Here the button is front, and there the button is to front, isn't it? How do you solve it, sir? For this particular title, give a specific height. The title has to satisfy a particular height, or make this particular button last. Okay, you got my point, right? That that way it will become consistent, but remaining all are good. Let's click on add to cart product. This one is really nice. What if I add it here? Okay, this one is too nice. Count is increasing. Very good. Any other? K and K? K and K. Huh. One. Netlify.app. Online people, whoever still don't know how to do the Netlify, please learn it. Sir, I think you all know it, right? How to push your code into Netlify, right? Just check with that. At least push your code into GitHub and maintain it. Now add to cart, remove item. And this one is more nice. You know why? Because he gave the option for remove item also. Good, good. It's a simpler design. But React people will expect somewhat more. Did you use any bootstrap here? Good. Give me my huh? Effects 007 dot netlify dot app. Keep all your assignments at one place. This one is no, it's more good. Like it has some kind. It's a bootstrap one. I think he used a bootstrap template header. Okay, and he increased it and he used it this method. My add to cart. Okay, plus button minus no. These buttons are not working, but they are having a good kind of logic here. It's good. You can keep it so that in future you can increase it. That's a real thing. But UI has to be good. The images has to be centered. The width has to be good. Now, whoever did this, please, online people also give me your links. Okay, this is a counter one, even odd. That's a simple one. Good. Open a model. Welcome to Hyderabad, the city of pearls. Submit again. Okay, this is a simple model box. Those are good. Now, listen, the only one step difference between persons who don't try and the who try. The persons who are trying it will keep their understanding always constantly practice. That way they will learn. Believe me, ma, if you are just listening to the classes and understanding it, one day you will forget everything. And that's how humans will become. Even I will forget if you just listen the classes. When you practice it and make it real, you will get to your own requirements, how to make this one, how to make that one. That will make you learn more. Okay. Now, offline more. Today, offline, many people did. You, huh? W, D, E, M, W, there is no W, demo. Dot netlify dot app. See the designs done by people, and they are actually each one did their own nice designs. See, which is increasing very good. Good. Next, React dash effect dot netlify dot app. Oh, okay, which is good to cart, and it looks more smooth effect. Only the point is, if the header is of different color, it will give you more impact actually, kind of 3D. Okay, because the header is looking like a mixed one. But except that, everything is smooth here. Okay, online did some accordion. It's nice. But when one thing comes, it should close another things. But this one is a nice one. Hmm, good. Open it. Let's discuss more. Sir, what we discussed? One thing you have to keep a note, ma, always. Like whenever you practice it one topic, write there what project we did for that topic also, so that you can repeat the topic. For example, if you want to know components, just how components works, okay, you can see a basic image and text print. That's how we did first application, right? Second, I explained you something called nested components, where one component inside and another component inside and another component, and I made you do book library or kind of uh, similar to Netflix Home. Did you remember this? Just the static images, with that I make you do again and again, right? Then I explained you props. Then we used props. What we did using props? Parent to child, and we replicate same some library or Netflix Home only. Same thing we did using properties. We send the properties array, right or not? And later we discussed state. Till now in the state, using state, I explained you how to do counter or BG changer or accordion we did, right? Or to do application we did, right or not? These are the things we discussed. And then we discussed, come inside. We discussed something called use effect. And I explained you products page. Products API. Now, now everyone focus here. These were the topics we discussed till now. In case if you had any doubts in any of the topics, what you need to do, you don't need to revise it whole theoretically. All you have to do is focus on that particular topic and do that particular projects, isn't it? Okay. Now today also we will do this use effect only, since a majority of the people were not there in the previous classes, as I told that the holiday and there is a miscommunication and all. Okay. We will still go with this use effect. Okay. Clear, ma? Now, anyway, now onwards, daily we will do this all. Okay. Now let's start it here. Now, for the persons who already know use effect, will remember, they will understand it easily. Use effect is used to manage side effects. Use effect is used to manage the side effects. Sir, what is it mean by side effect? Anything which don't create direct impact on UI, on user interface, and that is called side effect. If I take any one's application, see, if I click on this button and something is changing, so my UI is changing, right or not? There is some impact on the UI, and that is normal effect. Normally, effect means something, the change will be there. But side effect means it will not have any impact. For example, if I go to this products page, this products page here, if I click on add to cart something UI, 0 is changing to 1, 1, 2 is changing to 0. But before the page loads, at the time page loads, I need to get this data from somewhere else, right or not? I'm getting this data from some API, or I am passing this data from one page to another page. Okay, from one application to another application. These kind of logics will need to happen. It like this kind of logic will not have any impact on the UI, but they are needed for the UI. The similar application I told you, similar example, like when you are writing for an exam, you need to go for the exam hall, but it don't have any direct impact, isn't it? That kind of similar things are called side effects. And to manage a side effect, we use something called use effects. To manage side effects, we use something called use effect. Now, how to do use effect? The syntax of use effect is you will write it here, use effect, and you will give two things. One is one callback function, usually callback function, okay, one function, and here you will give set of dependencies, which we already have written, okay. In classroom, the notes is there, ma. Now, so use effect is used for the side effects. Side effects means the one which don't have much impact on the UI, direct impact, like API calls, fetching API calls. Okay. Now here use effect will take it one function, sir, and will take this dependencies, sir. Okay. Now these dependencies are optional. Dependencies are optional. What if use effect, use effect without any dependency, then C array. Now, what if I did not give that dependency array in the use effect? If you don't give dependency array, that means what if, sir, I just remove this, I give only function. If I give only function, okay, without dependency array, if I give something similar to use effect and one function, in that case, sir, then it will get triggered, it will get triggered for every change, for every state change. Usually use effect will run it like first time, and also first time the application render for every state change or every re-render of the application. To say you precisely, every re-render of the application. Again and again, people are getting confused. I have been explained to you so many times. Rendering does not mean loading. It's a similar concept. Okay, when you render, the state does not change. When you load, state will become again zero. It starts from. Now here, whenever a state changes, sir, you application will render one more time. And the more every time it renders, use effect will work. Okay, this function will run every time the re-rendering happen. If you did not give any dependencies, if you give one dependency, if I write here use effect with only one empty dependency, not one dependency. If you give empty dependency, in this case, it will get triggered. It will get triggered, triggered only first render of application, only first render of application, and it won't get triggered at any other time, sir. Only the first time it will get triggered. Or use effects here, if I give function, and here if I give any dependency, if I give any value, and then use effect will get triggered, sir. Use effect will get triggered for every state change state change of dependency. Now let's focus on example. Once you see the example, and we will come back to the definition so that you will understand it. I hope everyone see this definition and understand it. When we are doing the application line by line, if you read it one more time, you will understand it easily. Now let's go here. Our application VS Code, sir. Let's go here, VS Code. Let's open it here, open folder, and let's go here, React 7. Let's close all. Now projects. Inside the projects use effect demo, I'm just opening that only instead of creating new. Open this. Main file, I had no change. Okay. Then go here, app file. And then in the app file, I'm gonna make it here. Uh, what is CD projects, CD use effect demo npm run dev, so that I can see the output also along with this. Follow link. Now it's loading. Okay, finally it came. Now let's delete this all in my logic. Now go here and let's put a counter here. Let's put a counter. Paragraph count. Here I'm taking it something called count. Count, set count. Initially 0. And here I will put one button. For the persons who don't know count, please see that basically counter example. If you know half of the React, you will know. Because every time in this counter example, more and more you go deep, more and more React will be explode actually. Button, and here something plus on click. Here you are writing it one function. Sir, when you are trying to call a function inside the on call, if you are writing it normally, for example, see somewhere you write one function and you are writing just incr, just a name, not calling it. In that case, it will work as it is, fine. But in case if you want to call it like this, see, I want to call function incr here. I want to write it directly here like this. Or I want to pass some arguments. In that case, I want to directly call. This will not work. If you write like this, it will run infinite times again and again and again because you are calling it in the line. Okay, in that cases, you have to do something it like create a dummy function, and inside that you have to do. That is why you will do it, sir. Now here you will write it here, set count. In the brackets, you will do something called count plus one. Oh, sorry, count plus one. Now let's go here. What it will do, sir? Simple. If someone clicks on it here, huh? Huh? Use state law? Initialize చేయలేదా? Good. Very good. Now initially count value is 0. Now if someone clicks on it, it is going incrementing. Any doubts? which is a basic counter. Na? Now understand how the use effect will work. If I write it here, use effect, first thing, see, use effect in the brackets, I am just giving one function, directly one function, the effect. See, this is the effect. Now, for this effect, I did not give any dependency now. Only function I'm giving it. And in the function, sir, I will write something console.log hello. In the function, what I wrote, console.log hello. Now go here, refresh the page once. Now, if I go here, inspect, and if I check it here, console, see hello came. Did I click on anything? No. By default, use effect will work it like the moment your application render. First time your application render, automatically use effect will work. Any doubts? No. Second point. If you don't give, if you don't give any dependency, now every time a state changes, see, I am changing state of one value. I am changing state of one value. Every time state changes, sir, it will change. For every state change, it will be there. Is it clear, sir? See how many times a state change. That means how many times your application render. That many times your use effect also will get triggered. This is the first case. Second case, you may read it like use effect without any dependencies, just a function. It will get triggered for every state change or every re-render of the application. Okay. Second point, what if someone gives here an empty value, an empty dependency? Now go to the application again. Now here refresh it again. Now see, first time it will run. Okay. Now if I click on this, is it running? Is it running, sir? No. So only the first time only it will run. And that is why it is ideal for the API calling. Because when you are doing the API calls, you need the data only the first time. So every state change, if you are doing the API call, the number of requests will increase more, and at the same time, network load also will increase. Right or not? Okay. In real time scenarios, what will happen? This API call will take it some time. When you are calling it again and again, your application will become slow. And at the same time, sometimes you will have number of API calls per month when you are taking third party API. Okay. So that will also increase. You should not do that. You should always minimize the count of API callings. Now, next one. Next one. What if I give here count? First one without any array only. Second one empty array. Third one array inside that value. Now this is one value count na. Now what will happen? Every time if count changes, then only use effect will come. Only count changes. What if there is an another value and their state changes? It will not get triggered. Only if count state changes, then it will get triggered. Now go here and refresh it. Now see. Now if count is changing it, it is getting triggered. You may get confused, sir. It is the same as first case. But the difference is, in first case, if two, three states are there, for any state in the application, it will work. But this one will work it for state changes of only the values which are inside this. Is it clear, ma? Imagine you have one application which is like some refresh application or something. Okay. Every time someone change one value, you wanted to do again a API call. For example, you are doing searching application. Imagine one search bar is there. There you are typing movie name. Anytime if you type movie name, then it should call to that particular URL, and again it should bring all the movies with that name. If you type Titanic, it will bring Titanic. But if you again call triple R, it will go and bring the triple R. If you go type another name, it will go and bring it. Is it clear? In these scenarios, you cannot put empty array because empty array means only initially it will come. Okay. You should put the value, whatever is changing with that state value, you will put it, which we will do it in today. Clear, ma? Huh. And along with this, I told you to remember and understand how we call APIs. Okay. For the persons who don't know, I'm just repeating it, ma. Learn in JavaScript how JavaScript works. We do something called fetch. Okay. In the fetch, for example, if I'm calling fetch fake store API, then it will return something called promise. This is a JavaScript. And the promise is like, it's like a promise is basically how we do promises. Okay. Our promise will have three states, either fulfilled or rejected or pending. If I give you a promise that tomorrow I will give you something, my promise tomorrow I may get it resolved, fulfilled, or tomorrow I may say it like I won't give and I rejected it. But until I fulfilled or rejected, my promise is in a state of pending. Is in a state of pending. Okay. Now this fetching also a request to network. So it is going to the network. But JavaScript don't wait for anyone. Now your JavaScript is thinking that when this fetch will come. But before fetching going, the fetch request started, it will tell you, give you a promise that I will come soon. Imagine you told someone to go and bring something, and that guy is going. You can't wait. So what the guy will do before going, he will tell it like I will come in 5 minutes. That's the promise he gave. So what you will do? You will do your work, and after 5 minutes, you will check for him. Is it clear? Is it clear, ma? That is what the promise. Now, whenever the promise happen, what is that promise? Whenever it works, you will use something called then clause. Then means whenever the promise works, then will run. Whenever the promise failed, catch will run. Inside this, you will write one callback function. For example, I am writing one callback function here, and I am just writing res. Res means whatever the responses I got it from the promise, and I'm printing it. Console.log res. And I got the response. But the response is not the JSON one. Usually, fetch will not get the response in JSON format. So again, you will do, sir. If you do it one more time, you will get the response in JSON. Control C. Dot then res. This time I will write it like res.json. One more brackets needed. Simple. Something brackets mistake it is. Okay. Now, now let's try our own logic. Now, today, what I'm going to do, this is a promise concept. You know what is the advanced concept of promise in JavaScript? Async await. So, I am going to do today async await. Sir, API request in the React is very, very crucial point. We can do it in 100 times, 100 different ways. So, last time we did it promise. Now, I'm going to do async await. Tomorrow, I will do Axios. Okay, it's like every day we'll do some change. Okay, so that you guys also will understand it in easy way. Okay, now if anyone have any doubts, please mention it. If you fetch the data from API and I put them in for loop, this is for loop and is wrapped in use effect for dependency, and now it is called single time. No, sir. Hemant, you didn't understand. You won't put the for loop in the use effect. You will put just API calling in the use effect. For loop, you will write it in the return only. Okay. Now let's go here. Let's write it here. Let's do, let's start one more application. I hope by now everyone knows how to start your applications. Control C. Why? Now cd dot dot c. Now npx create with at the rate latest. Huh? Oh, npm. Okay. Now here it will create a new one, and I'm going to write it a name. Uh, we'll do movie search project. Movie search, and here React, JavaScript, CD, movie search, npm install, and oh, sir, you don't need to do multiple use effects in one application. In one use effect only, you can do multiple works. You can call multiple functions in one use effect. Okay. But usually it's not ideal situation to do multiple use effect. Why? Because use effect is first will get called, and immediately you have to check it. What if you put multiple use effects and one use effect somewhere, another use effect somewhere, then you will get confused the flow. Okay. So in one use effect only, call the multiple functions in that case. Now here npm run dev, which is a first application. Simple. Sir, I'm going to use an API request. I think you people already know APIs. I'm using something called OMDB API. OMDB API for the movie search. Okay. OMDB API. First, let's create some APIs need key. Some APIs need key. Okay. Some APIs need authorization also. But here, some APIs are free, public APIs. Last time I gave you public API, which is fake store API. Now I'm using API key here. So this is asking API key and free, and I'm giving some mail ID. So which I will take it from temp mail. I'm using some temp mail to create. Can we use observable to React? I think Sheetal, you didn't know observables will commit in the HTTP client, not in the fetch. Okay, that is an Angular one. In the HTTP client, you will get it the fetch. You will get it the observable. Here you won't get any observables. Here you will get promises only. Copy. I'm just using some fake mail ID so that I will get it API key. I don't want to give it my API, my email ID. Okay, just submit email verification link sent. Come here. Yes, verification mail sent. Come here. OMDB the following to activate activated. It is activated. Now let's go back and let's take this. This is my API key, sir. This is the key. Control C, and I'm pasting it my key somewhere else. API key. Okay. So you can also create your own API schema, how I did. Okay. Now let's go here, OMDB API. And in the OMDB API for searching, the URL will be like this. For example, if you are searching for a movie Titanic, so what you will write it here, S equals to whatever the movie you are searching it for, triple R, like that. Okay, if you are searching for Titanic like that, or let's write it here, triple R. And then and API key equals to what is my API key? Control C. Control V. Why invalid API key came? Okay, I should not put it in string then. Huh, I got it. So see, when I do the URL, in this URL, I'm getting the data, right or not? In this URL, what data is there? Titanic movies data is there. Is it clear now? Now, first, let's do for this URL. First thing, I want to get this data into my application. Second one, I will change it every time Titanic to some other things, whatever I give it. Is it clear, ma? Now, let's do the application nicely, sir. Let's go here. Let's start projects, movie search, follow quickly, SRC, and in the app. Now, let's create two more, sir. Movies.jsx. And I'm creating one more thing called movies.jsx, sir. Now, inside this, let's delete all. Let's delete this counter. Let's delete this all. And here, div. And in the movies, RAFCE, RAFCE. For the persons who don't know, I'm just doing it. RAFCE means one functional component will be created automatically, sir. Okay. I think you know the shortcuts. Please install that extensions for shortcuts or you try to do it on your own. It does not matter. It is just a component. I just created one component. Now go here and I'm writing it here. Movies. Clear, ma? Now whatever in the movies, it will print it directly. But first, I wanted to use effects. Come here, use effects. In the use effects, okay. I wanna call it that particular URL. Okay. Now let's go here. Let's write it here. Let's write it here. Hmm. Const movies list, comma, set movies list. So whatever the movies I got it when I search something and I'm storing it in this. Use state initially empty array. Initially empty array. In that movies list, I'm going to write all the things. Is it clear, ma? Now come here and here what you are going to write. Now I'm using async await. Do you guys know what is async await? Async await will be similar to your fetch and fetch promises, but this time we will write it as synchronous code. Instead of writing dot then a promise changing, we will directly write await and all. Here you can do two things. You can directly write a function outside of use effect and you can call it inside the use effect, or you can directly write it here only. Okay. I am preferring the second method, but both are valid here. Let's write it a simple function, sir. Async fetch data. Async function fetch data. Okay. Now in this, and I will call the fetch data also here only. See, inside the use effect only, I write it one callback function. In that callback function only, I call the fetch data, and I also gave the fetch data calling also there only. I wrote it and called it here only. Now, how to do that, sir? Const uh, const response equals to await await Uh, I have to use fetch, and in the fetch, I have to give the URL. I'm giving direct URL, sir. This is the URL I directly gave it, sir. And whatever the response I got it again, const data equals to response await response.json. Sir, for the persons who did it in JavaScript, this sync await, it is exactly same. React will not teach you anything new from the JavaScript. React will just use them in a nice way. That's it. Now here, whatever the data I got it, in that data, the whole movies are there now. Now I'm giving this data to the movies list. Movies list. Inside the movies list, this data is there. First thing I call the use effect, and it will call this particular one, and it will give cell. Okay. And I'm giving here empty array. That means only one time it will call. Only one time it will call. And this movies data is there now. Okay, sorry. I should write it here. Set movies now. Set. Now movies list is updated. Now let's pass the movies list here. So I am passing it here. Movies list equals to movies list. And whatever the array it got it, this guy will receive it, movies, and this guy will print it. Here I am just directly writing. Sir, day by day I am just making it somewhat more complex so that I hope you can understand. Here I am just passed the props. In the props, what are there? Movies list only there. So when I passed it, I just sent it there, and here I destructured it. Here I destructured it. Okay. Now here you can write it directly props, and you can write it props dot movies list. Instead, you can directly destructure here only, ma. Now here I am printing it. Movies list map. Sir, for the persons who don't know, in every class we are using map. So please learn what is map. Okay. In the map, we will give one callback function, sir. Inside this, whatever the data is there, movie, and for every movie, I'm just gonna print it movie title, or here, what is this? Title and poster is there. So I'm just printing it here, poster. Simple, because posters are easy for recognizing. IMG SRC equals to movie dot poster, and here ALT equals to movie dot title. See, till now you did not do search method. You just take it the Titanic code only, right or not? I'm just taking the Titanic code only. Now go here, and now my code is over. Now I will go to my bit, and I will just refresh it application. Okay, I think somewhere somewhere broke. Now go here. Huh? ఏంటిది? చేసా కదా, యాప్ లో పెట్టా కదా మూవీస్. ఇంపోర్ట్ కూడా అయ్యింది, ఇదిగో. హా? యూజ్ యూజ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఇంపోర్టా? అర్థం కాల. ఆహా, యూజ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఇంపోర్ట్ చేయలేదా నేను? ఇదిగో చేసా కదా, సపరేట్ సపరేట్ గా అయ్యింది. ఓకే. ఒక లైన్ లో అయితే ఏముంది, రెండు లైన్లు అయితే ఎర్రర్ చూద్దాం. ఏముంది అందులో? ఎర్రర్ చూస్తే తెలిసిపోద్ది కదా. See the error. Now error is uncaught promises to fetch. Okay. Now here fetch failed to fetch the data. Now error happened in fetching the data only. Okay. So that is why it is not printing anything. So now in the fetching data, what is the error here? Will it go to this link? Yes, it is printing it. Now here, why it is not doing it? Then fetch, await, async, and I called it perfect only. Console dot log res, and again console dot log data. Now let's try it. Now see here, it printed something line number 17. What is line number 17, right? Data. Okay, data is an object tray inside this. So movies are not inside the data. Movies are inside the data and inside the search. Inside the search. So I should write it here. Data dot search. Simple. You should check it like where the data is there. So now refresh it. Now it is exactly, it is no errors now. Response is coming, array is coming, and now movies data is also updated. Okay. Now after the movies list is updated, it is passing the movies list here. So let's write it here. Let's go to movies concept, and here I'm just printing it. Okay. Mm, use effect. Sir, why you are using use effect, sir? Just I want to see it like whenever the application rendered, what is happening there. Console dot log movies list. And I'm printing that movies list, whatever I'm getting it. See, it is printing it correctly. See, why we use effect? Basically, use effect, how they work. Whenever the application started only now. Now, whenever the movies component rendered, at that time that movies component will have the movies arena. So is the array is coming correctly or not? I'm printing it. And I printed it. Perfect. Array is coming. So array is coming. Movies list array is there. So now our logic failed here. Ah, I understand what is the logic. Here I put the braces and I did the image. When you are doing HTML, what do you have to, what braces you have to put? Parenthesis. But I put this one, sir. So that is the problem here. So now here open brace, sorry, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. That's it. Everything is actually working well. Now it will come, I am 100% sure. See, all movies are coming, which are of Titanic. Because that's what you did, right or not? You directly take the Titanic values. But do you directly want to take Titanic values, sir? No, I don't want. I want to take the values of something, one state value. Okay. Now go here. Go to your app.js, sir. In the app.js, let's take some value. Const search term, search term equals to, sorry, search term, comma, set search term equals to use state, and initially my search term is empty string. What is that? Empty string. And here, instead of writing Titanic and all, I will write it here. You know what I will write? Search term. Very good. So I will keep this in template literal, sir. For the persons who don't know JavaScript, this template literal is actually modern script. Now here s equals to, you can write it directly like this. If you do it, that value will come. Search term. If you write it something like this, ma, For the persons who don't know, understand this logic. Here, OMDB search term value. If search term value is triple R, then their triple R will be there. If search term value is Titanic, their Titanic will be there. And if you want this kind of thing, you should put it in template literal only. If you put it in a string, it will not work. Is it clear, ma? Yeah. Now API key is also done. Okay, everything is done. But when this function will be called, only first time? No. Every time such term changes, I want this also will change. Right or not? Now you typed Titanic, sir. First time, if you put it like first time empty, it will call empty one. Second time Titanic you put, sir. Then it should go and call the Titanic value. If you give triple R, sir, next time, it will go and call the triple R value. Right or not? So every time a value of search term changes, state value of search term changes, I wanted to call. So that's why in dependency I gave search term. Is it clear, sir? Does it make sense? Now, next one. Now, how do you update it, sir? Search value. Here I will give one input. Let's give here input. Input type equals to src. Value equals to search term. For the persons who did not remember, we did this similar one in the to do application. Spelling mistake. In to do application also, I took one input, right? And I took the value. Now, what is the value here? Empty array. Sorry, empty string. Because what is the value here? Search term. What is the value of search term, sir? Here, what is the value of search term? Empty string. So now iska value will be empty string also. Now next one, on change. On change. Every time a input changes, every time an input changes, sir, then what will happen? Here I will change the set search term. And here I will set the search term value to okay. I have to set the search term to whatever the value in this particular box. So E, and I will search it to here E dot target dot value. Okay, comma came E dot target dot value. Okay. For the persons who did not understand, just keep a focus on it. Here, this is called event one. In JavaScript, you may have done this. Event means what event got triggered. Here, what is the event? On change is the event. What is the event? On change is the event. So target means this on change is targeting what? Input element. Very good. This on change is targeting input element. Now input का value क्या है? वो search term है. And that one is I am making it as search term again. So that means whatever you write it triple R. Triple R will be the value now. And that value I am giving it as a search term now. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear? And automatically here you don't need to put a button and all. You know why? Because automatically it will call this particular search term. Whenever the search term changes, automatically it will go and call this use effect. Earlier, what we used to do, we used to put it like one button. If I click on it and then I can make it a fetch call. But here I can do it directly also. Now go here and go to my application. Something again triggered, I think. Control C, Y. Sometimes server load also wrong. So you can run it one more time every time to check it. But if still is wrong, no need to worry. You have to check it once. What is happening? Now here, the above error occurred. See, the error is cannot read the properties of undefined. Why? Because you gave empty string. Okay, so there won't be anything. In that cases, it won't run. So in that cases, what you have to do, you have to write it here. Movies list. I am saying it only if movies list is there. Then only do the map. If movies list is not there, no need to do. This is called conditional rendering. I think we are already doing it. Conditional rendering bole to only if that particular thing is there, true, then only run it. Now, if the movies list is not there, so let's not do that map. Okay, I don't want it. That is the kind of fixing the error. Now let's refresh it. See, no errors here. Sir, you can make it actually better. I just put it in input, normal input. You can make it something bigger and cool and all. So I'm just giving here triple R. Okay. And all triple R are coming. Is it clear, ma? Now let's go here. Let's give here. Now again empty. Empty means empty one. Now let's give here Radhe Shyam. Shyam. Radhe Shyam wala kam. I'm just printing images. You can print year actually according to the data of this particular API. If you go here, you can see title is there, year is there, IMDb ID is there, type poster is there. So you can take image, you can take name, you can take released year, and you can take ID also. ID bole to IMDb ID. So whenever someone click on that, you can lead to IMDb directly. Okay, is it clear, ma? Is everyone clear with this? Now let's print all nicely. Okay, now someone is saying it initially they want all the data. This API will not give any initial value only. It depends on API. Actually, in API, this endpoint is used for only searching. Okay. If there is an endpoint in this OMDB API which will give all the movies, you can call that. Okay. You got my point, ma? Okay. But here it's not. Now, now go here. Here use effect is not necessary. Just I did it to print that particular one. So what I'm printing it, sir? I printed here IMG and I want to print it here div. Let's write it here div control X control V. Now go here. Now here I want to print the H3 title also. What is the title here? Movie dot title. And here paragraph released movie dot year. Very good. And you know what I will do? I will give this title also in anchor tag. In anchor tag. Because I will go to some movie like IMDb. I think you guys know what is IMDb, right? If IMDb, if someone write it title slash something ID, then it will call that particular one. So I'm taking this URL, IMDb ka title URL, Control C, and I'm going it here, this particular URL, href. Now, instead of this Titanic ID, and I'm giving a dynamic ID here, dollar braces, and here movie dot imdb ID. That is what they said. But this will not work, sir. Why? Because this is not a template literal. So you should make it as template literal. Backslash, backslash. Uh, where did I did wrong? Huh? No, it's absolutely fine. But it's not taking out only. Why? JSX must have one parent element only. Obviously, it is having one parent element only. Mm-hmm. Control X. We'll just check with this why anchor tag is not working. Okay. Now, sir, by default, whatever the data is there, you need to, when you enter, you are getting searching. Okay. Check it like how this API works. Okay. Now, let's refresh it one more time. Now, let's go here. Let's write it here, triple R. And see, title, name, and the released one is coming. If I put it in a grid structure, okay, here I did not write it any grid and all. If you write it here, take it a grid structure and all, it will print it nicely. Clear, ma? Any doubts, sir? Any doubts? No. So try to do this movie searching one into somewhat better level, and at the same time, bring your requirements. When you are practicing these things, you will get some thoughts. Sir, I want something like this. I want something like this, right? And your requirements will make it into another level. Try to do async await in this particular case, and tomorrow we'll say Axios. Okay. And tomorrow I will do this particular one. I will finish it first, actually. I will apply some nice bootstrap and all tomorrow for this one. And then we'll make it more and more better daily. Clear, ma? Is everyone clear? The main purpose of this project is to make you understand how the use effect works. I hope that one is clear, right? Now, don't focus on more on API. Okay, see, API is not the real issue. The real issue is the use effect. When you go for real time, they will give you their own APIs. They won't ask you to do OMDB API. If you don't know how to manage OMDB API, happy. Okay, no worries. You can try another API. But if you don't know how to do use effect, that's a problem. Okay. So if anyone wants to try some sort bigger level, sir, for movies, I know two APIs. One is OMDB and another one is TMDB. Try TMDB API also, which will work. TMDB API. Okay. That also will work similar, sir. The TMDB API, if you go, you will get it nice. This one will give you more data than the normal one. You can check the documentation, you will understand it like. Okay, TMDB API. Yeah. Then next. Now, if anyone wants to create a Netlify link, sir, there are two ways. First one, directly write it here, build. If I do it here, Control C, Y, and if I write it here, npm build. See, npm build. Oh, npm run build here. Npm run build. So automatically build application will be created, sir, which is a dist file, right or not? Now go to your application, go to here, Netlify, and in the Netlify, create, add a new site, deploy manually, and upload this dist file. Desktop, and here Naresh IT, and here React 7, projects, movie search, dist, and that's it. Upload it. Now it will only upload and it will only give you the link, sir. Just take a time, that's it. So it only uploaded. See, deployed also, and completed. Now, if you go here, site overview, here you can see site configuration, and here you can change the name, site name. I can change the site name. A site is already created. Now here I can see movie search. Movie search 005. Now, if anyone type it with the movie search 005, they may get it this particular dummy project. You got my point, sir? This is one way. Another way is directly you take it GitHub. You push it your application into GitHub, connect your Netlify to GitHub, and so that the automatically Netlify will create it the links. Okay. Try it both the ways. If you search it on internet, also it's a 5 minutes processor. There are some alternatives. Sir, Netlify is not working it for me. No worries. Try Vercel. It is also similar as Netlify. Netlify, Vercel, so many other things are there, but basically these two are easiest ones. Okay. Yeah. I hope online also clear with this. Is there any doubts, Ma, in today's class? Is there any doubts? No? Yeah. Just check one more time in your JavaScript class, Axios. I think in JavaScript you all got it Axios, right? One time check it like how it works. Okay. If you can't check it also, no worries. Tomorrow I will check it the Axios. Okay. Yeah. And try to do this. Everyone has to do this movies application and make it look nice. And tomorrow I want to see your URLs. Okay. Yeah. That's it for everyone. Thank you all. In API, we need to do triple R image, sir. No, you need to give one image and the image will be filled automatically. Okay. You all you give is one text. That's it. Whatever the text you give, it will call. Huh? पहले to do project. You want to do project? Use effect का? हाँ हाँ